Welcome back to Monday's show with me, Jeremy Edwards, in for Matthew Wright, Johnny Freeman, Danielle Westbrook and Pandemonium's Adam Richmond. Coming up shortly, do you think men have a biological clock? Do men feel the same pressure to have kids by a certain age as women might do? 0207 173 5555 is the number, whatever you're thinking. But first, the papers. What's making the headlines today, Adam?
So, from the Mirror on the new Cold War. So obviously by now it's day 3. The Russians have gone down into the Crimea, the southern region, where obviously loads and loads of gas and fuel and oil that actually affects us in England. They actually mention how this crisis and the occupation of the Crimea, and especially if Russia shuts it off, it could push up gas prices in Britain. And apparently they provide a quarter of Europe's gas, and around 12% of that is in Britain. And so right now, obviously, we're teetering really close to another major Cold War episode, obviously, between Prague Spring, the Cuban Missile Crisis. There's a little header on page 7 where they mention, obviously, 5 U.S. destroyers were met with Russian troops in 2013. And in 99, obviously, there was... right around the Kosovo War, obviously the airports were occupied. So obviously this has ramifications now in terms of Western European energy. And Ukraine itself, though the pipelines flow through it, still relies on Russian power. If the Russians turn it off, they turn Ukraine off. Ukraine doesn't have any kind of real army, and actually special forces are now surrounding the Ukraine, and puppet governments are in place, and we're very, very close. There's even an article on page 6 where they say one soldier accidentally firing the gun can actually trigger a whole sequence of events.
Yeah, but they are hoping to sort this out diplomatically. They say that there will be, well, they're hoping there will be no conflict.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I could trust Putin. I've seen him shirtless far too many times. Far too many times. And I just don't think I could trust him. In all seriousness, I think that generally speaking, I mean, when you now are talking about pulling him out of the G8 summit, this major catalyzing financial force.
Apparently, William Hague, who's in Kiev this morning, has just said that Ukraine is the biggest threat to Europe in the 21st century. Well,
that's Russia's sort of encompassing the Ukraine and taking over the Crimea. It's not Ukraine itself. No. They were Ukraine.
The situation.